Well, hello everybody, welcome back to another new vlog. It's a very wet one, very misty, murky, horrible day today. I'm out and about in the Malvern Hills, which is probably about 45 miles south of where I live. So I've got up this morning and got myself on a train to come out here to explore for a little while and hopefully take a few photos. But it was really just a kind of a reconnaissance mission, to be quite honest with you. Today really isn't the best day weather-wise, but actually I don't mind that. It's actually pouring with rain and it's misty and it's murky and it's horrible. But every now and then, as I look over my shoulder, it just looks as though there might be a possibility of a little bit of light in the clouds, which may be a suggestion that we're going to get a slight break in the clouds. But either way, I wanted to stop at this point here just to get the camera out really. There's a bench not far from where I'm standing, so I was able to put my bag down. Let me turn around and show you that bench. I can't even see it now. I'm saying it's there, but I can't find it. Well, anyway, you get the idea. There's a bench just along here somewhere. And at the moment my tripod is standing next to it, just there I think. Just there. But I'm going to take a shot of this scene on the edge of the path because I think it just looks perfect. It kind of exemplifies exactly what I'm talking about with landscape photography. You need to be getting out in all weathers and trying to capture some interesting compositions, because there's nothing better than being out and about in nature, even when it's wet like this. So let me explain the composition I've got here. Just behind me, through all this thick cloud and mist and murk, what you can't see on this camera, I've got the town of Great Malvern, and it's kind of down in a dip from below these hills. So I've come up into the hills to have a bit of an explore around, and I can see where I've stopped in the pub to have my lunch while I'm here. I probably shouldn't have stopped in the pub, to be honest. It's been hard work getting up here after a nice big meal and a couple of pints, I can tell you. But I'm going to take a shot here of this scene. It is very misty and murky, but I think you'll like it anyway. So this is the composition here. It's just literally the town of Great Malvern stretching out in front of me, just here. And I've focused on a little spot just about here somewhere, which is a decent distance into the image, and it means that I can get pretty much everything quite well in focus. I'm shooting with an f/16 aperture, and I started with a shutter speed of 1/15 of a second. However, that might be just a little bit too dark for the scene, so I've also bracketed 3 shots in the hope that I can possibly bring out some of the dynamic range in this shot. So I hope you like this one. I'm going to move on now and see if I can find something different. I've walked along this path a little way. I can't really find where I'm going to be quite honest with you, so I've decided to turn back, because I know that along the path on the way here I've already found several compositions, and this really is one of them. These trees here at the side of the path are just fantastic. I think I'm always attracted to trees within the landscape because they're all different, they're all unique. Like human beings, they've all got their own personalities and their own style, and these are an absolutely perfect example of exactly what I'm saying. They are some of the best trees I've seen for a long time, to be quite honest with you. So I'm going to stop here and take a picture of these. My composition, by the way, is this tree here, this first one. It's kind of grown up at the side of the path with a slight slope on it, and then it's got these limbs that kind of stick out all over the place, and there's 1 or 2 of them that are kind of bent over heading down the side of the hill, to be honest with you, almost as if they're trying to escape in another direction. So I'm going to capture this scene and then I'll move on. Okay, so in that shot the background is really blown out because of the misty murkiness in the background, but I really quite like it. I'll probably have to drop the highlights down slightly to reduce some of that background because it is quite bright. but also then I might increase the shadow so you can get a little bit more texture and detail out of these trees and increase the contrast a little bit as well. In the meantime, this path here behind me, I'm going to walk back along it, and I know, as I said before, that there are several more compositions. There's actually a little cafe hidden away just around the corner here, and I think there's a lookout spot just next to the cafe where I might be able to stand and capture another shot. I haven't had a proper look at that yet, so I'll have a look at that on the way back. But then on top of that, there are several more shots anyway that I know about. So I'll go and head towards the cafe and see what I can find over there. So just behind me is the aforementioned cafe just here. On the way along the path here back to the cafe, I spotted where the path kind of turns almost completely back on itself. I spotted an interesting shot, which was a ravine, which was kind of going up about 60 or 70 foot above my head on the one side, and then dropping probably about another 200 foot on the other side. And as I got to the edge of the path and looked up towards the top of that ravine, what I noticed was there was a rock on the side of the left hand side of the image, and I just thought that looked quite interesting, with the ravine itself sloping down between the rock and the rest of the foliage and the vegetation along the side of the hill. What caught my eye actually was the thought of being at the top of that and slipping down it on a day like today, with loose rocks and all kinds of debris and rubble scraping your legs and your backside on the way down. It kind of made me feel a little bit uneasy looking up at it like that, but it was quite an imposing shot, so I just thought I had to stop and take it. So I hope you enjoyed that image as well. What I might do is stop here at the cafe and take a couple of shots of the cafe as well, and then carry on walking back the way I've came, because I know that there's still possibly one or even two more shots just after the cafe. So I'll give that a shot and see what happens, but for now I'm going to move on, maybe capture a shot of this cafe and then move on. This is getting ridiculous now. I'm quite glad I came out though. Just behind me you'll see this tree here and the bench to the side of it. I've got a shot here which looks fantastic, and again it's rather similar to the first one and the one of the trees at the side of the path that were leaning over the edge of the path. You've got a very high dynamic range here though. What I've got here is this tree and the bench are quite close to me, and there's a decent amount of light on them, but as you go further back into the scene you can see the town below and green fields and trees further down on the hillside. And what I want to try and do is capture all of the colour and the contrast within the entire image. So I've focused on the bench here, and I've taken a few shots with different exposure times, and then I'm going to bracket those exposures in the hope that I can bring out some of the detail that's in the far background way beyond there, because I think that looks quite interesting. I can see it as I look at it, but on this camera as I record the video you can't see a thing. You can really just see dark misty greyness, to be honest with you, and that's surprisingly very, very grey. So what I want to try and do is just sort of bring out the detail that I can see in the greens and all the contrast in the colours and everything just there. So hopefully this one works. I've just got one more shot to take, and it's actually this way around here. Just behind me you can see a hill, and there's a little bit of cloud on that hill, but also a little bit of light trying to peep through, but it's still pouring with rain, and I think there's a composition which captures that hill quite nicely, so I'm going to set that one up and take that one. Before I do that though, I'm going to call it quits after this image. This is going to be the very last one of the day, and then I'm going to make my way home. if you've enjoyed this vlog, please remember to like and subscribe, share and comment as well, and I'll try and reply to as many of the comments as I can. And also please visit my website. Some of you will probably know that I've set up a website over the last few weeks, and the link is right at the beginning of this video and also at the end of this video if you want to go and look for that. So yeah, please visit the website, like and subscribe, and I'll see you again on another vlog very soon. Bye for now.